Good evening, everyone. How are you all? Welcome to Cyntexa's webinar on ServiceNow. I am your host for today, Surbhi Rawat. I work as business consultant at Cyntexa, which means I help businesses like you to leverage technology in order to find solutions for your businesses and to help you achieve your business goals. And with me today is none other than VJ Sir, Vishwajit Srivastav, who is CTO at Cyntexa. Not just that, he's also a visionary who has brought a lot of ideas to life. Hi, VJ.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm also great.
It's our next webinar in the line, so how excited are you for this one?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the ServiceNow webinars that we are having now.
Okay, great. All right. So before moving forward, we would like to show a forward-looking statement to all of you very quickly. So can we have the forward-looking statement on the screen, please? Right. So in this forward-looking statement, what we are basically saying is that please do not take any buying decisions out of the information that we provide in this webinar. It is strictly for knowledge purposes and to enlighten you and to give you some insights around the product and the solutions. But please do not take any buying decisions. Reach out to your account executives or your partners before making such decisions. Thank you. Moving forward, I would also like to talk about Cyntexa, the very reason why VJ and I are here. So Cyntexa is ServiceNow consulting and implementation partner with expertise in IT asset management, IT service management, and IT operations management, and many more. It is serving multiple industries such as financial services, healthcare, education, manufacturing, non-profit, and many more. We also hold partnerships in Salesforce, Google Cloud, AWS, Microsoft, and Nintex. We are committed to enabling businesses to unlock their potential through tailored solutions and transformative strategies. Okay, moving forward. So I think you all are well aware that in today's webinar, we are discussing ServiceNow ITAM, which is IT Asset Management. So very quickly, let's go through the entire agenda of the day. Can we have the agenda on the screen, please? All right. So the first thing that we are, of course, going to pick up is overview of IT asset management. There is always a confusion between IT service management, IT operations management, and IT asset management. So, of course, we are going to go very deep into what IT asset management is. From here, we are moving to introduction to ServiceNow ITAM, how ServiceNow specifically as a solution, what it delivers in the ITAM landscape. After that, we are going to, of course, discuss the types of ServiceNow ITAM, then features of ServiceNow ITAM, and after that, VJ is going to be sharing the entire ITAM process in the life cycle with us, as well as how AI can get integrated in ServiceNow ITAM. Additionally, VJ has really prepared a very personalized demo for all of us as well in ServiceNow ITAM. So I'm very excited for us. I'm very excited for all of us to witness that. After that, we have challenges that ServiceNow ITAM addresses. We are going to be discussing that as well. Then differences between ITAM and ITSM. Then how top brands are leveraging ServiceNow ITAM. And after that, of course, if we are talking so much about ServiceNow ITAM, we are, of course, going to guide you on how to implement that in your business and how to choose a right implementation partner. And after that, since we have VJ here, so of course we got to have a Q&A session. So we are going to be very much all ears to all the questions that you have for us. All right, moving forward. So this was our overall agenda for the day. I hope you are already enough pumped. So moving forward, VJ, what I do know about IT asset management so far is that it is a very structured approach towards managing an IT's overall organizational assets. So what all assets, be it software, hardware, cloud, SaaS products, any sort of vendor or third-party assets that we have, all sorts of asset management comes under IT asset management. Additionally, it optimizes cost, it ensures that there is efficiency, and also it most importantly ensures compliances as well. So it automates, it accelerates, and it improves the manual processes into a more automatized, into a more systematic manner, so that you have an entire 360-degree picture of your assets or of your organization's assets. And with that, it of course manages the entire life cycle of the IT assets as well. So while I was, reading about IT asset management, I came across a lot of terminologies like asset inventory, life cycle management, financial oversight, compliance and security, optimization. So when it comes to a very macro level, or me being a business consultant looking it from a very business perspective, what all things I have understood is, so asset inventory is basically maintaining a very detailed record of all the IT assets that you have, be it hardware, software, cloud, anything. After that, when we have life cycle management, it pretty much manages the process from procurement to the disposal of the IT assets. Now, when it comes to financial oversights, of course, it very much looks into the overall cost and how can it optimize cost, how can it ensure that there's a ROI that is really coming out of it. After that, we have compliance and security, which we have already discussed, that whenever you are using a SaaS product or whenever you are using any third-party product, there are often vendor audits that happen. And in order to ensure that you don't have to bear any overhead cost, you make sure that you are very much compliant and all of your systems and processes are secure. So that is also one thing that I got to know about IT asset management. Additionally, optimizations is one thing that I really got to know. That, for example, right now I have 500 licenses of a CRM, but when I really looked after a year, I pretty much needed just 350 licenses. So those 150 licenses I paid unnecessarily for them. So these are also the scenarios where IT asset management comes into the picture. But this is a very macro level idea, or a very business centric idea of what IT asset management can do for me as a business owner. I want you to tell me what else is there in IT asset management that I missed out. Secondly, there is this question a lot that, okay, I understood what IT asset management is, but how do I choose a right IT asset management software for my business considering my dynamic needs? So Vijay, give us an idea on those two fronts.
So if I talk about, what is missing in the ITAM piece, so pretty much you have covered it all. Right from the place where you are getting the requirement, like somebody is requesting a new asset, identifying whether we have the asset, procuring it, fulfilling it, then making sure it's being monitored, it's being, it's functioning as expected, and then, doing any kind of troubleshooting wherever required, and then reclaiming it wherever required, and then maybe disposing of it. So that is all what, ITAM is overall. It allows you to kind of, save cost. You can save cost by not purchasing any additional licenses or any additional, assets which you may already have lying somewhere, but you didn't knew about it because you didn't had a great solution in place. Then we have the compliance and regulation piece over there as well, which is, something, if we do not have the proper tool which allows us to do regulations and all of that, so we would be stuck in that. So you have covered pretty much all of it. To answer your second question, like, what are some of the tools that can actually help us? So ServiceNow is one of them. It's one of the really good solutions. There are many other solutions as well which allows us to manage our asset, but they don't have the environment and don't have the ecosystem itself only to support all the aspects of the enterprise itself only. They may provide you IT asset management, but they won't be able to provide you service management on top of it. If they are providing that, they might not be able to provide you operation side of things where you are able to track what particular asset is performing how. I have an asset, let's say I have given somebody, let's say I had a server and then I aligned it to some kind of process that I had done, that I had created. Now you would not have a track of how well the server is performing, how well your system is performing, how well the license you have assigned to somebody is being utilized. You may not have that. But with ITOM, you will have that capability as well. You will have that clarity as well. Okay, the server is being utilized at this particular, utilization. There are so many events coming up from there. There are so many, percentage utilization of the CPU or the percentage utilization of hardware over there. So you will not be able to take proactive action. So they may not provide a entire ecosystem itself only. ServiceNow do provide it. if you may end up with a company that is providing you all of that in just single platform itself only, then it would not be able to, have such a big, I would say, portfolio of the companies who they have actually helped with and who they have actually elevated.
Trust and credibility.
Yeah. Trust and credibility will be there, and then the AI part of the things comes into the
true.
picture. Everything and everybody needs AI into their
From
person.
2023, it is really all
Yes,
about
yes, yes.
AI now.
Chat GPT came into the picture and it's been
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
It's been AI. I always hear terms at least 10 times a day on my calls. AI, AI, AI. I was like, yeah, AI is there. So yeah, AI is also something that is very important to us. So that is what, a solution will be requiring, and ServiceNow ITM fits right into the picture, and it can actually help all type of businesses. So I will quickly deep dive into that. So ServiceNow ITM is basically that itself only what you have managed. It provides us the capability of managing the assets from their entire life cycle itself only, whether it's a hardware, whether it's a software, whether it's a some kind of cloud server that you may have somewhere, SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, whatever you have it, you will be able to manage it in just single place itself only. Not only that, you would be able to link it with different modules of ServiceNow itself only, ITSM, IT service management, then you have ITOM, operations management. You will be able to interact over there itself only and integrate it so that you have an entire process flows which ensures you are saving cost, you are being compliant to the regulations, and then you are being efficient as well. And from security perspective as well, it's actually helping you out a lot. I will be talking about that security piece because this is one of the examples that I remember from one of the implementations just we recently did. That's why I remember it. Unlike traditional ITAM, it integrates with all of that, and it provides unified asset visibility and lifecycle management itself only. So you don't have to worry about it. Along with that, it has the AI capabilities with Now Assist built right into the platform itself only. So you get some additional capabilities on top of it. You can have a you can have a AI insights which tells you like this particular device needs to be phased out because it is not performing as optimal as it should be, like as compared to the other counterparts, because it is 8 years old device. When you review it, you identify, okay, that's why it's not working that well. And you will be able to identify, okay, we have these many licenses, but we are only utilizing 30 of them from the 100 license that we have purchased. So things like that you can do. And with AI, it helps you take decisions faster. It helps you take informed decisions. So that is what, ServiceNow ITAM allows us to do in a high level overview itself only. Now I think I will go into, how does ServiceNow ITAM handles it, the types of it.
And that is exactly the question I had, that I understood that it will definitely going to help in controlling the operational costs. It is definitely going to help in reducing the downtimes, in enhancing the efficiency. But how does it really do all of that? I get it, and I very much want to trust what you are saying, but I also want you to give me a technical reason for it.
Sure, you don't trust me. I get it. You don't trust me. No issues. I will explain it now.
A logical reason on how they are really doing this. How are they doing the entire life cycle management, all of those things?
Sure. So if you look at it, there are three primarily bifurcations of the assets that are relevant in today's industry, in this today's era itself only. The first one is hardware asset management. If we can have it on the screen itself only, on the presentation, that would make it easier for the audience to understand a little bit better. So we have hardware asset management. With hardware asset management, you are basically managing all type of hardware within your organization that you may have, whether it be your laptop, whether it be earphones, whether it be some kind of consumable item, maybe let's say a keyboard or a mouse itself only, and you may have different type of security cameras and all of that. So all of that hardware you will be able to manage it over here. We have lifecycle tracking. We have the entire lifecycle. Who raised a request for this particular device? For whom? If he may not have raised the request for himself only, for whom he raised the request. Okay, then it will be going for the fulfillment. Before fulfillment, it will get an approval. Does somebody approve it? Does the manager approves it? Like he actually needs it? Then it goes to the fulfillment center where it gets fulfilled. Like, do we have it? Do we have it some kind of warehouse itself only? Do we have it some different warehouse? Maybe we do not have it in our local warehouse itself only, but we have it in our New Jersey warehouse and we are in New York. So that can be done. And then if we want to purchase it from some vendor, do we have capability? How many vendors are there from whom we can purchase it? So that is also come into the picture. Once we have that, then it will be kind of procured. It will be updated into the system. Then it will be delivered to that particular person. After that, it kind of, being tracked of how it's being utilized, what are the, different type of statistics that we can get from it. We are capturing it. Then we are providing support on top of that with the help of ITSM. Again, I link it over here. Yeah. And then we have the, reclamation process as well. Like if you want to reclaim, if the person is leaving or the task that we had assigned to him is completed and he no longer needs that device. So we can do all of that. So that is what lifecycle tracking is. Then we have automated workflow. We can create different type of workflow. I will talk about them in our demo itself only, so I will not go over there. But we have the capability to create workflows and various scenarios covering different aspects or different business processes that we may have, the custom process that we may want to implement. Then we have cost optimization. With this type of implementation in place, you will have a clear picture of how many devices I have, how many devices are being utilized at which particular place, how they are being utilized, and then you don't have to make frequent purchases and then realizing, oh no, we purchased 10 licenses last month, we already have these five products lying over here itself only. So you will be able to reduce that. Then we have IT operations integration into it, and then we have audit and compliance. We are able to do auditing on it, how many systems we have, whether we have it, do they have the same configuration as we have them listed in the database itself only, and are we compliant from the regulations that might be required. There might be some hardware level regulations itself only, like no data can be taken out from the laptop itself only. So for that particular piece, you have stopped the USB data transfer itself only. So things like that we will be able to track. So that is what hardware asset management is. Next up, we have a diagram, which is kind of showcasing what all things are over there. For the audience, I would request you to go and download the presentation so you will have a clear picture. Yes. And I will say even better for the people who are actually watching it right now live itself only. Go ahead, download the presentation and go through it as we talk, so that you will have a better understanding, and then you will be having better questions which you can ask me. And then we have SAM, which is software asset management. So with software asset management, we will have the similar kind of capabilities that I talked about in the hardware. So for softwares, we have the capability where we may have licenses for, let's say, Adobe Creative Cloud, Microsoft Office itself only, maybe some kind of OS that you have purchased. So you want to keep a track of that as well. You want to keep a track of how many licenses we have purchased, who all are utilizing it, how many of them are lying unutilized, how they are being managed, whether we have a contract for renewing them. If they are not one time, we want a way of renewing them on a frequent basis. So SAM actually helps us in doing all of that for us. We have license management, which allows us to manage the licenses. Then we have cost optimization. It would allow us to cut costs. We will see a great demo with this into the picture itself only, but just to give you a small brief into it. So cost optimization we can do. How? We can identify there is this particular license that has been assigned to this particular person A, but he haven't utilized that particular product in the past 3 months for more than 50 hours. Then maybe he does not need it. He does not need it. Or maybe he didn't even utilize it itself only. How often do you see organizations actually going on to that level and identifying it? So cost optimization allows us to do that. Then we have usage monitoring. We are able to do usage monitoring, and that is how basically we are doing cost optimization in the example that I gave you earlier. But there are other ways as well for doing cost optimization. I will talk about them in the demo. Then we have automated compliance checks. So oftentimes I have seen companies paying heftily, enterprises paying heftily in 100,000, 200,000 in compliances because they didn't realize the people who are utilizing their who are utilizing the software are not utilizing the right keys, they are maybe under licensed for the product that they are utilizing, and then the particular company kind of simply ask the query or simply do some kind of audit, and they had to pay hefty amounts. I do have examples of that, be it any industry, medical industry, financial industry. There are many examples of that, but yeah, it allows us to save money over there. Then we have integration with ITSM, as I talked about earlier. So we have that capability. Then we have cloud insights and subscription management. So cloud insights and subscription management is another capability where we have the capability of managing the IT servers, IT utilization that we are utilizing on Google Cloud, AWS, Azure. All the organization, all the majority of the organizations, okay, are utilizing cloud services to some extent, whether it's be AWS, GCP, Azure, whether they are utilizing S3, whether they are utilizing Compute Engine, whether they are utilizing EC2 instance, whether they are utilizing Lambda. How do you manage that? So that is what basically Cloud Insight and Subscription Management allows us to do. It allows us to save cost, identifying this particular server is ideal for 80% of the time, then maybe we need to reduce it, or maybe we need to shift it to from EC2 instance to maybe Lambda instance only, so that it is only available whenever a request comes into the picture. So things like that you will be able to identify it. So we have cloud cost optimization, we have automated renewal management, we have the compliance and security capability as well that we will be able to manage with it. And then we have subscription tracking as well and usage tracking as well. All of that we have. Then we have the features of ServiceNow ITAM.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Vijay, for explaining that so well to us, and now I got my logical reasoning, so I think I'm somewhere satisfied that
That's
okay,
good.
ServiceNow ITM can really deliver to any sort of dynamic landscape or any sort of industry that is required. Additionally, when I talk about features of ServiceNow ITM, I think the terminologies itself will clarify a lot of things for
Yeah.
our viewers. So I think first one is software asset management, which basically ensures
I
that
already
you
covered it just
Yeah.
just 2 minutes ago.
yeah. So software asset management is basically taking care of the licensing, its usage, and making sure it is compliant. Now, when it comes to hardware asset management ensures the smooth process from procurement to the disposal of the asset, and also ensuring that there are no additional losses, there is no destruction of property or no destruction of assets that happened. When we talk about EAM or enterprise asset management, it majorly, goes onto the lines of capital that gets invested into an asset, and how much of operational cost or operational expenses are being done on the assets that the organization have. So with EAM, the stakeholders gets a very good idea of how much capital of theirs is being invested in asset management. After that, we have SaaS license management. I think from last 10 years, SaaS is something which has gotten important for almost every business out there, be it a small business or a large enterprise. SaaS helps you out on a lot of business operations, and that is why its subscriptions and its renewal is something that should be a priority for your IT teams, and that is something which IT asset management helps you out a lot in. And after that, we have executive dashboards. Now, this is another one highlighting fact for IT asset management, is that it really gives a very analytics driven insights to stakeholders to take better decision making, and that somewhere helps the stakeholders also to stay ahead and to plan the future better. After that, we have asset onboarding and offboarding monitoring. I think it is very clear from the terminology itself. When we talk about offboarding and onboarding, it ensures that the process is smooth. There is no issue being faced, neither by the employees nor by the HR teams or anybody anywhere. After that, we have contract and renewal management. Here, ITSM management prevent any lapses that might otherwise happen if in case you don't have a right ITM software in place. You might actually end up losing out on your contracts. You end up not renewing it and then bearing a hefty cost for it. After that, we have cloud cost management. Again, as the name suggests, it tracks all of the expenses and optimizes the investment that we put into the cloud. Because again, similar to SaaS, but a bit more expensive than SaaS, clouds are again a place where organizations now invest heftily. So when we talk about legacy ITAM systems, they don't really cater to cloud cost management or SaaS licensing, but ServiceNow ITM does that. Vijay, do you have any additional point to add on to
You
this?
covered it all, and I think I covered it to some extent in my explanation itself only. We have covered all of that.
All right.
I think now let's deep dive into basically the thing which is very important, which is ITAM process and its life
Process
cycle.
and life cycle.
We talked about it.
I do have one question
Sure.
here to ask from you. I do wanted to know, and this is a question which kind of got raised in Cyntexa's community, that what are some of the specific challenges, or what are some of the specific places where ServiceNow ITM would help me in my business?
So, it helps you be, to basically save cost. We talked about cost optimization multiple times. So it
Right.
saves you, it allows you to save cost itself only. Think it like that. You may have, let's say, 100 laptops itself, 100 Apple Macs itself only of $1,000. Okay. And you get a request like you have recently, increased your team size like we did. So, we have added 50 more people into it, and now we need 50 more Mac devices. It's into the hands of the people that we have just hired. If you do not have a ITM like solution, you may end up typically buying the device in itself only without checking how many devices you have, where they are being utilized, how they are being utilized, whether are they free, whether are they actually assigned it to the right person or not. You will not be able to do that. But with ITAM, you will be able to do that. The cost optimization is one of them. Second one is compliance and regulation. So that is something that allows us to save cost. Okay. Because if we do not do that, then we will have to pay the hefty, penalties, hefty, compliance, legal notice, all of that. So it allows us to save over there. Third one is the, efficiency. How efficiently we are moving, how quickly we are taking decisions. So that is also the one of the aspects. And the last piece is the security. Not for all organization, but for some of the organization where security is very key thing. Like primarily in the BFSI industry and healthcare industry, we worked with a particular customer, and they mentioned like they were not disposing the assets in the correct manner, which costed them a lot of money because some of the data got here and there, and some of the compliance got breached, and they had to pay a hefty amount. So disposing of the items is also something that is also one of the great thing that would be a benefit for them. And then we do have the depreciation as well of the assets that could also help you in saving taxes itself only. So that is also one of the aspects. So these are the primary 4-5 things that I am able to think. And the reason why I am able to think it like in that particular fashion is because I was talking to somebody last week itself only. And I came up with these particular 5 points after having a discovery with them, understanding their business needs and all of that. These are the 5 points where they would have saved cost. And now they are moving ahead with ServiceNow ITAM itself only, along with ITOM and ITSM.
Wow, that's great. Good choice.
Good choice. Yeah, good choice.
Okay, so Vijay, please take us through the overall life cycle and the process of ITAM.
Sure. Okay, so if we have it, if we can have it on the screen itself only. Okay. See, we talked about it. A request gets raised, we will be notified, and we will be identifying, a request has been raised, and then we would be approving it, whether this particular request is correct or not. After that, we will be fulfilling it. Fulfilling it means, identifying from where we will be getting this particular device, how we will be getting it, whether we would be getting it from our warehouse only, whether we will be getting it from some other office or other warehouse itself only, or we need to purchase it from some vendor. And if we have to do that, how many vendors we have and which vendor is giving us what cost? So we have we need to do that in the fulfillment piece. I will be showing you in the demo itself only. Then we have deployment. Deployment is basically giving them the asset. In hardware context, in software context, it's giving them the key itself only, giving them the license itself only. In cloud context, it's deploying. So that is what deployment is. Then we have monitoring. We would be monitoring it, like how the asset is performing and whether it's compliant or not. So we'll be doing that. Then we'll be doing servicing. To all the assets that we have provided, we need to provide some level of servicing. We need to provide some level of troubleshooting. So we'll be doing that. Then we have retirement, where the person is leaving, or maybe we have identified he no longer needs it. We would be retiring it, and we would be reclaiming it, or we might be disposing it. So that comes into the retirement piece itself only. So that is what life cycle of the entire asset management life cycle, ITAM, life cycle in ITAM is.
All right. Wow. Thank you so much, Vijay, for giving us such a great understanding on that. And I think we really got a very real-time idea of that, as much as I'm still waiting for the demo, and I'm very eager and excited towards it. But before, we move on to demo, I also want you to address how AI is being integrated in ServiceNow ITAM, because now we know nothing is going to really work to its best potential or to its best productivity or efficiency if it is not utilizing AI into its operations. So how does AI look like in ServiceNow ITAM?
That's a really great questions. So if we can have it on the slide itself only, we have automated asset discovery and tracking, With AI-driven identification and classification, it allows us to, do better identification, and it allows us to identify assets and their configurations faster. If it is non-compliant, we will be able to identify it faster with the AI into the mix itself only. We have predictive maintenance and risk management. With AI, we have the statistics data which is being captured, then AI processing and identifying this particular device needs maintenance. This particular device is on the risk because the type of interactions which we are getting from this particular device are not, kind of relevant to what it should be doing. So this is something that we can identify. Then we have license and compliance optimization. AI can help us in doing that as well by, automating, tracking the software licenses and prevents overuse itself only. Then we have intelligent cost saving. Obviously with AI, we would be able to save much more cost with all the things that I just talked about earlier. It will actually help us save cost itself only. Then we have smarter IT decision making. With things into the picture, decision making is going to be smarter with AI, because AI will be telling you what are the things that you can do, what are the things that needs to be addressed in order to ensure we are staying compliant, we are staying under the budget that we have defined, we are reaching the success goal that we have defined. Then we have seamless IT operation with AI. So, with all of those things into the picture itself only, AI can do self-healing as well. AI can, identify the asset that needs to be refreshed. Basically, we need to give them a new particular mouse itself only because it's 3 years old, and typically the 3-year-old mouse gets, bad, and it does not work that efficiently itself only. So things like that will be taken care by AI itself only in ServiceNow, and it can do a lot of things, and it can provide us the seamless IT operation with the help of AI. So that is what AI in ServiceNow is.
All right.
In context of ITAM.
Yeah.
There are so many things that the AI can do in ServiceNow. We'll be talking about them soon in our upcoming webinar, so do subscribe.
Right. So that means basically in every IT asset management process, be it asset discovery, be it lifecycle management, be it optimizing, ensuring compliances are being followed, AI is pretty much getting integrated and being actively utilized in ServiceNow ITAM almost everywhere.
Yes.
So again, that's a good thing, and that shows where, as a solution ServiceNow ITAM is heading. It is obviously very progressive in nature and very much adaptable to the scenarios or to the landscapes where industries are moving towards, which is right now AI. So that is definitely a plus for business owners as well as stakeholders, because this will ensure productivity and efficiency to its pro max level. So from here, Vijay, now the curiosity have really increased to know, to understand, to see how the look and feel of the ServiceNow
Demo
ITM
is here,
looks
don't
like.
worry.
Yeah. So, and that is what I was hinting towards, that please, take us through the live demo of ServiceNow
Sure.
ITM.
Just give me a moment. Let me check if I have all the right, tabs open with me. So yeah, I have it. So if we can have it on the screen itself only. All right, thank you. So this is the, particular instance that I have configured for this particular demo. So this is what you are seeing, a hardware asset workspace, and this is the dashboard that you are seeing, the same dashboard. You can relate it to the same dashboard that you were talking about, the executive level dashboard. Okay. You have a clear understanding of what is the, asset request, what are the transfer order, what is the stock order, asset reservations, and then we have the complete graphs, so showcasing, asset count by model category, all of that. So we have lots and lots of information visible to us, and it is all configurable as per our business needs. Now I will go and show you, this is a particular HR representative that has logged into their service portal, and this HR executive task is to onboard a new particular employee. And for doing that, they need to assign them a new laptop. So how do they do that? They will be able to raise a request from over here. They can simply go and in the popular categories, right now it's coming up over here, Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch. So let's say we are assigning it. So it's asking for whom you are requesting it. So let's say I'm asking it for Henry Carter. There are delivery information where it needs to be delivered. Then we have special instructions, maybe let's say handle with care. I will simply click on checkout. And what will happen is a new request has been created in ServiceNow for this particular instance. So I will come over here and I will click on asset requests. And now you can see there is this particular request which has been created. I will go over here. And in this request, you can see, okay, this is the particular request details that we have. This is the requested item that is requested, like Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch has been requested. Now, it needs to be approved first. So how do we do that? So the request has been created to Eric. So maybe I can, simply approve it from over here itself only, or maybe I can impersonate and show you how it will look for Eric itself only. So I have all things handy because I tested it. So yeah, I will impersonate as Eric. And as soon as I come in, I would be able to see all of these details. This is a dashboard for Eric itself only. He's the manager. I will go to my approval section. Over here, you can see the approval request is coming up. We can see, okay, a request has been raised. Lisa raised the request itself only for Apple MacBook Pro. This is the IT information. I will approve it. As soon as I approve it, if I go back, and if I go to the hardware asset workspace, yeah, as you can see, the request has been approved. Now the request has been approved, now comes into the fulfillment piece. Now the fulfillment request needs to be done. So new catalog task has been created, which is procurement has been initiated over here. So I will go to this particular task. Now I can see, okay, this is the particular task that has been assigned to me and all the details we have. Now I can do source request. What is source request? Source request is basically, going ahead and checking whether we have this particular stock available for us or not. So right now you can see this stock is not available to us. So we cannot use a local stock. If it would have been in our local warehouse itself only, or in our office itself only, we would have simply consume it from over here itself only. Then transferable stock is basically, we have this item, but not in the New York branch. We have it in New Jersey branch and we have in Buffalo branch. If you want it, we can get it from there. So we have the transferable stock as well. We can click over there and then we would be able to get it. Next, we have vendor. So vendor is basically, you are purchasing it from some kind of vendor. So over here, we can see there are two vendors providing this particular information, one for almost $1,100 and other one is $1,800. So I will purchase it from over here, and then I have provided a quantity and where it needs to go. I will submit this request. So now that some request has been submitted, and if I come over here, a purchase order has been created because I requested it from the vendor. Now somebody needs to approve it. You cannot simply do all of things on your own. Somebody needs to give an approval on the purchase order. So we have this purchase order. So I will go in and I will simply approve it. I will click on order. An order has been placed for it. And if I come back over here, so the order has been placed. Now if I go to the requested item itself only, and just a second, I think I'm missing a piece over here. Purchase order has been approved. Catalog task, moderate, close, complete, procurement. Just a second. Yeah, this is awaiting delivery right now. So this particular item has been received at the warehouse itself only. The item is there. Now this particular person, Henry, needs to be delivered this particular item. How do we do that? It would be delivered either via a field service agent, or we can ask Henry to come into the works, into the office itself only, or into the works, into our warehouse itself only to get it. So we can do that. So we will come over here and I think I'm missing a piece right now. Just a second. And meanwhile, I will show you how it's looking over here. Meanwhile, I rethink where I am missing some of the aspects of it because I created this demo this morning itself only. So over here, as you can see, from the point of view of the HR itself only, we have the waiting for approval, like it was waiting, now it is fulfilled, now it is waiting for delivery itself only. So it's waiting over here. Now if I come over here and if I show you in this particular request itself only, maybe I'm missing somewhere something. I think I have to go to, maybe I think I will check it. Maybe meanwhile I will open up a previous request that I had already created. So how it will look is, it will look over here. If you can see it on the screen itself only. And the requested item will come up over here, and the data will be updated over here, where we can see the request has been approved and the item has also been delivered to them itself only. The stage is completed. Maybe I have kind of something. Let me check. Yeah, so this is something, how it will look over here. Meanwhile, I will check if there are some flows over here. I will check it. Other than that, I will be showing you the SAM piece of it, software asset. So yeah, for this we have this particular window over here. So this is a dashboard that is showing us how software how the software asset management would look like. So over here we would be showing it. Over here we have a dashboard. If you can remove me from the screen itself only. Okay, so over here we can see the complete dashboard over here. So this dashboard is showcasing again the entire workflow from the perspective of a director or an executive, how they would look. So we have total 14 publishers with whom we are out of compliance. Publishers are basically the companies that we are dealing with, and within the companies itself only. We might be dealing with IBM, we might be dealing with Microsoft itself only, SAP itself only. So we would be able to see it over here. How many products are out of compliance? What is the total over licensed amount? Meaning how many licenses we have purchased more as what is required. And then we have the total true up cost, which is basically showcasing how many licenses we have purchased under, and we are utilizing more than that. Meaning we have purchased only 10 licenses, but we are utilizing 15 licenses. So things like that, we will be able to see it from here itself only, and we will be able to have a complete track of how it is being handled, how it is being utilized from over here. Now I will go and show you how it works. So over here, if I simply go, I will have gone to the license usage. Just a second. It's refreshing, just a second. Yeah, all right, so this is how it will look. So let me run a reconciliation again. So basically reconciliation is utilizing the capabilities from the data that we already have from the ITOM and from the CMDB itself only, and then we are running reconciliation on it basis on the rules that we have created. If we have created a rule where the particular data has been tracked, if a particular license is being utilized only 10 hours on a monthly basis, then we may not to utilize it in that particular fashion. So I am running a reconciliation, and you will be able to see the previously done reconciliation. So this is in progress. I will open up the existing ones. So this is a reconciliation that I ran for IBM publisher itself only the IBM publisher. If it's loading, just a second. It will show us the details about what are the licenses that we have and how many are purchased over and under. Just a second. All right, yeah. I think I refreshed it again. All right, yeah. So we have this detail where we have all the products that we have purchased from SAP. True up cost is basically showing how much cost we have to pay additional because we are underutilizing the licenses. We are overutilizing the licenses that we have already purchased. Then we have savings data. Then we have all the progress indicators along with us. Over here, we can see all the products about what are the products that we have purchased from them, what is the true up cost, what is the over licensed amount, all of that. Over here, this is the remediation output, which is basically showcasing if we are non-compliant, what are the things that we need to do in order to be compliant. So things are purchased right. We are having less licenses for SAP Credit Management Active Business Partner, and we need to purchase more. So we have a remediation action for that. We need to create allocation. What that means is, so purchase allocation is very simple. Okay. where we have to, kind of simply purchase a license because we don't have the enough licenses and we are utilizing more. Create allocation is we have the license, but it is not aligned or it is not assigned to the right person and they are not using the product to the optimal level. So we would be needing a creating allocation. You should look at it like we have the Microsoft Office license key, but the person is not utilizing the license key and they are utilizing the free version itself only. And the paid license key is staying over there in the asset library itself only. What good it is doing for us. So things like that it can do for us in create allocation, and we will be able to see it over here. Similarly, we would be able to see the things like, for the IBM one, I have it configured over here, remove unallocated installs. So you may have identified like, you may have run a rule and you may have identified the devices for which you got to know if a particular person haven't utilized an application past 1 month, remove the license, why to assign it to somebody and purchase new licenses and more licenses for somebody else. So we can do that over here with remove unallocated installs. Now I will show you how easy it is to configure all of these rules. So I have configured all of them already over here. Just a second. Yeah. So this is the rule that I have created for the Microsoft Office one. So this rule is saying if the total usage time is less than 50 hours in last 3 months, then reclaim the license because the person is not utilizing it. Reclaim it. So it will do that. It will inform the person 2 days prior the reclamation happens. So this is something that we can do. We can either request somebody to give that particular license to us, give that particular asset to us, or we can do a automated reclamation as well, where we notify it in 2 days the license will be taken off from your device or from your instance, and we can do that. Similarly, we can create, rules over here as well, where let's say if a particular stock goes beyond, the threshold, let's say if Apple MacBook Pro 15 threshold is 50, meaning if Apple MacBook Pro stock is less than 50 in one of the warehouses, you need to purchase 50 more. So this is something that we can create. So what this will do is it will ensure we have all the assets which are needed, which are required in our reach whenever required. So we will be able to do that. Similarly, we have the transfer order. So if we have a transfer order rule set up, like this is again something set up by us only for the sake of this demo. It can be configured however the way you want, however the business process requires it. So over here we have created in the IT Park stock room, if the threshold is 50, meaning if the Apple MacBook 15 Pro is less than 50 in IT Park, then get 30 from the Maharani Farm office itself only. It's another location itself only, and we can utilize it. So you can think of it like if the count goes less than this in New York, then get it from Buffalo, get it from New Jersey itself only. So we can configure it like that. So this is the high level demo that I wanted to kind of, showcase you and show you. And I will again see if I am able to identify why that particular piece was not working. Just a second. Well, it was working. That's why I have this particular solution ready and tested over here. Check. No issues. Some things like happen in the demo itself only. I think I identified it. Yeah. Okay. So in the purchase order line itself only, it is not, being delivered. So that's why it's coming up as pending delivery. That's why it was not available to us. So things like it, I should be doing it from over here itself only. I will go it and I will update the status itself only. I think I'm not sure what's happening over here. Maybe I have something. But yeah, this is how it will look, okay, primarily. No issues, yeah. I think this is how it will look over here, and then I think we can move forward. Meanwhile, I will see why the demo at this particular stage stopped. Meanwhile, the Surbi will continue with the next slides.
Okay, thank you so much, Vijay sir, for creating that demo and giving us a very good real-time idea of how everything works around. I think from here we are going to move towards the challenges that ServiceNow ITM addresses. I think we have already discussed a lot of challenges with you already, but still I would highlight some of the major challenges which really defines a win or a loss for a business. One of them is lack of visibility in IT assets. ServiceNow ITM ensures and provides a very consolidated view of all the assets that an organization have, leading to no more IT department, no more IT department being blindsided or being unaware of what all is going around in the entire in the entire portfolio of asset that they have. Second is usually this is a challenge that rising IT costs happen due to a lot of redundant spendings. Like for example, at times without making IT departments aware, a lot of departments or a lot of professionals ends up buying same softwares again, or ends up ordering for assets without letting the IT departments know, which leads to somewhere an increase in cost, because maybe IT department could have gotten it or could have gotten the whole asset at a much cheaper rate. So of course cost is something that is a major factor for businesses, and something that ServiceNow ITM ensures on a very higher level. After this, we have the compliance risks during audits. So right now, be it any cloud vendors or SaaS vendors or any other sort of vendors, they really make sure that they're auditing and making sure that their customers or their clients or their partners are ensuring all of the compliance is being followed. So this is also one thing that ServiceNow ITM ensures. After this, we have so of course, Vijay mentioned AI a lot, and that is also something that ITAM does. It removes the manual processes from the picture, which at times lead to IT delays, and it really brings automation into the pictures, which leads to a very smooth and quick monitoring, as well as a very quick fixing of the issues that the employees or that the teams might be facing. Other than that, on the slide we can see that there are some additional challenges that are there. In order for you to read about all of them individually, I would really ask you to download the PPT, because additionally to this we have also talked about the exact reasons why they need to fix it. So some of the challenges are suboptimal asset lifecycle management, lack of efficient contract or renewal management. We have inefficient IT asset onboarding and offboarding. Again, all of these pointers is something that we have already discussed, and that is why please download the deck and the PPT to read all about it. I think from here we are going to next move on to IT asset management and IT service management. So there is of course a huge, so IT asset management and IT service management really complements each other very well. But with that being said, there is always a confusion between IT asset management and IT service management. So Vijay, please give us an idea of give us, create that line for us where ITAM comes in and where ITSM comes in.
See, these are two things which are going hand in hand. I would say ITAM is asset management and ITSM is I would say one of the biggest aspect of what ITSM is, providing services to the assets that you have and that you have assigned or that you have given to somebody. So if we see in the slides itself only, okay, so yeah, so I think I was opening maybe yeah, okay, yeah. So in the definition itself only, ITAM is primarily involving around the asset lifecycle itself only, basically whatever we have discussed. And whereas ITSM is primarily dealing with, the designing and delivering of managing IT, the services that they are getting, the issues that they are getting in resolving that. So it's the main difference over there. Primary focus is assets for, tracking, optimizing, cost optimization as well, performance of IT assets, whereas ITSM primarily focuses on, quality IT service that aligns with the business goal itself only. Scope is, something The ITAM is focusing primarily on hardware, software, and virtual assets, as compared to ITSM is focusing on incident management, problem resolution, change management itself only. So this is the primarily two gap itself only. ITAM provides the hardware, asset, and configuration, whereas ITSM manages the issues we are getting over there by issue management, by change request. We can request a change, like we do not need this particular device, we want something else, so we can configure it over here, and something similar to that we would be able to handle in ITSM. Then we have again on the slides, if you can see, from the objective point of view, it's the ITAM objective is to provide the visibility into asset utilization and controls, whereas ITSM seeks to improve service quality and enhance the user satisfaction itself only. From the process point of view, ITAM uses asset discovery, inventory management, compliance tracking, whereas ITSM focuses on incident response, problem resolution, change implementation, change service, service desk support, and SLA as well. For stakeholders, ITAM primarily deals with asset managers, procurement team, finance department, and compliance officers, whereas ITSM deals with service manager, IT support team, end users, and business unit leaders itself only.
All right. Thank you, Vijay, for explaining the whole difference on a more technical front. Although for all the business owners and the stakeholders who want a bit more of a business-centric idea of it, so I'll take an example of an e-commerce company. So for example, you run an e-commerce company and you have somewhere around 5,000 employees in your company. So here, how will ITM will come in action? So for those 5,000 employees, you bought 5,000 laptops. So now tracking the entire life cycle of those laptops, that is when they are going to need a new laptop, when they are going to need a new software, and providing that, updating those softwares, ensuring that those softwares are running smoothly, planning for the hardware upgradations and replacements in advance, all of that is ITAM in action. And now what is ITSM? Well, ITSM is so now you have provided a laptop to one of the employees, and now they come to the IT help desk raising a concern or an issue that they might be facing. So ITSM is solving that issue, being there, present there for the employees to help them real time with what all IT issues that they are facing. Additionally, for example, in ITM, you have got software licenses for them. But in ITSM, ensuring that those software are being used properly, the process to manage those softwares are also in place. So all of these things comes in IT service management. Additionally, ensuring that the e-commerce platform remains, operational. There are no downtime happening. All of these things also comes under IT service management. So like we just said, IT asset management is very much the overall life cycle. It really does not go into helping the employees real time in providing them IT services. It is more making sure that they have the right assets in their hand to keep the operations running. Whereas IT service management is more like a help desk, more like fixing their issues real time, more like helping them with the process of subscriptions, and additionally, handling the customer service queries related to the website. So all of that really comes into IT service management. And I think with this example, you have somewhere understood the difference between IT asset management and IT service management. I think from here, we can really move on to the top brands who are leveraging ServiceNow ITOM. We do this every single time in our webinar. We don't just come and state statements here. We also come with credible sources and some testimonials which ensure that what we are saying is something that has really worked out for other organizations. And that is why I want to take you through some of the top brands who are leveraging ServiceNow ITM actively into their businesses. So first one is Latitude. By implementing ServiceNow IT Asset Management with service mapping, Latitude Financial Automated Software license tracking, enabling real-time insights into license compliance. This approach is expected to increase asset discovery from 50% to 90%, streamline audits, and prevent millions of unbudgeted software costs. So this was one example. Additionally, I will quote one more example for you, which is of Comsa. So by leveraging ServiceNow platform, Comsa successfully expands its device as a service model, reducing response time by 50% and a case processing time by 30%. Within the first 6 months, the platform enabled seamless mobile IT infrastructure management, enhanced self-service capabilities, and ensured unmatched transparency for customers. So these were, additionally, I do have some more examples which are listed in the PPT. We have one of the examples from Wipro as well. So for you to know about that, please download our PPT deck. It is mentioned in the description. Additionally, you can go on ServiceNow's website, on Cyntexa's website to download the PPT. So please do that.
Yes, please download it.
All right, so we discussed a lot about ServiceNow ITAM today. But we talked a lot on the front of on a front where we are making a business owner or a stakeholder understand why they need ITAM, or more on a technical front where a technical architect or a functional consultant can understand how they can integrate the ITAM into the businesses. But when it comes to admins, or when it comes to people who are actually implementing ServiceNow ITAM in their businesses, I think we can pretty much share some of the best practices also that they should take care of while implementing ServiceNow ITAM into the businesses. And I think that is something that we are going to discuss next from here. So please, can we have the slide? Okay, yeah, so these are the best practices that you can take care of. Number one is defining clear objectives. So of course you have to document the entire process and for consistency and alignment, and additionally have a very clear vision and objective when you're starting IT asset management in your organization. Next is involving key stakeholders. When I talk about vision, of course it comes from the leadership, it comes from the main key stakeholders of the organization, and engaging them is going to make the process more futuristic in nature. After that, you have to create a baseline, you have to identify and track the existing systems to start with, and while you are doing that, you are also going to identify some opportunities where the improvement of asset management can be done. So while you are building a baseline, you will already have some opportunities to work on in future. Now from here, how you are really going to approach to the entire implementation? Well, please go in a very phase approach manner. That is, you are implementing ITAM in stages and not in one go altogether. And of course, when I'm saying that you have to do it in stages, you have to prioritize. So which project is important first? Which team's assets are important first? Which kind of assets are important first? Please prioritize that and focus on high impact initiatives first. And then of course you have to communicate well. IT asset management is more like a backbone of the organization, which actually does not get that much spotlight when the key decision making is happening, and that is why you have to showcase the benefits of ITAM in the key meetings, so that you get the support which otherwise you wouldn't get while implementing all of these things. And then you have to so IT asset management is not a one day job, it is a continual process, and it has to continuously get improved, and that is why you have to track progress and set future goals also with your ServiceNow, with your IT asset management, and where do you want to, it to go, and what kind of ROI you're seeking out of it. All right, I think from here, Vijay, next thing that we are going to discuss is how to choose the right implementation partner. So please, take us around this.
Definitely. So, in order to identify who is the right partner for you, so first of all, you need to understand whether they understand the industry's know-hows, like whether they actually understand what ITAM requires from end-to-end perspective, whether they understand the asset lifecycle from all the three aspects that we talked about: hardware, software, and cloud itself only. So we need to focus on that. Then we need to make sure they have the certified professionals. So the team who is going to work on the requirements on your project itself only, you need to ensure whether the team is certified or not, and the certifications will give you the trust, like yes, they know certain things and they are aware about the best practices that needs to be taken care of. So you need to work around that. Then they need to be technical savvy, obviously, because if they are not tech savvy, then how will they help you? Then we have tailoring and integration. The solution that they are providing you needs to be tailored for your implementation, for your business needs itself only. And it should be able to integrate with your existing workflow, with your existing solution itself only, and they are providing you solutions around that. You need to ensure all of that. Then with that, you need a great project management, because with implementation like this, you need a great project management where people are actually ensuring whatever the assets that you have are being tracked effectively. All the processes are outlined, how you procure it, how you fulfill it, how you retire it, how you dispose of it. So project management actually allows you to do all of that and then make sure whether they are being implemented, and ensure that the stakeholders and the people who would be responsible for it and the people who would be utilizing it are aligned on the same thing or not. So project management is really, really important over there. And then post implementation, they should be providing you the support and the help that you might be needing, whether it be any type of training that might be needing, or any type of resolution that you might be needing. So they need to be there after the implementation itself only. It should not be like that, we are done, now you should be handling it yourself, we are nowhere to help you out. So it should not be like that.
All right.
So basically choose us.
Yeah, so additionally, I would also like to mention that Cyntexa actively works with clients to help them with ServiceNow implementations, with IT asset management, IT service management, IT operations management, and for all other ServiceNow product suits as well. Vijay, I do have some questions from the community and for you. So first one is, how scalable is ServiceNow ITM as my business grows or adopts new technologies like cloud services?
So, the ITAM from ServiceNow is, is really scalable. And the reason why I say that is because ServiceNow as a platform is a very big platform, and they themselves are managing lots and lots of customers, and they work very much on their infrastructure itself only. So you need not worry about whether it's scalable or not, whether it's capable of handling the integrations and the processes that you might be having in your business flow. ServiceNow will be able to handle that. Moreover, it provides a complete ecosystem to ensure you have each and everything that you might be needing. So you don't have to go here and there.
All right, I do. So next question is, can it be customized to meet the specific needs of my industry or business model? It is.
It is. Yes. I showed you in the demo itself only. For some of the aspects, we can configure it, the rules and the configurations as well, and we can do much more than that. We are not limited to just those only.
All right, next question that's coming up is, what is the typical timeline for implementing ServiceNow ITM in a business of maybe 500 employees?
See, it's not about the employees you have, it's about the assets you have. And the different type of assets you have and the different type of processes you have around them. So it will primarily depend on them. I think it would be better to discuss it with somebody and get on a call with them to get a clear understanding of it. That would be much better take on it. But if you ask me, do not take my word for it, but with discovery and identifying and all of that, it can be done between 8 to 10 weeks as well, but it can be done in much more than that as well. Basis on the, the data, the assets that you have and the type of information, type of assets you're utilizing. In the 500 company, you might be only utilizing, let's say 3-4 hardwares itself only and 2-3 licenses itself only. Whereas a company with 500 might be utilizing some, SaaS and PaaS servers, some different devices itself only, security cameras as well, some licenses as well. So it will depend on more towards the
operations of the organization.
And the assets and the type of assets that you have.
Right.
The best answer is connect with somebody who understands it, who goes through it, and then they would be able to help you out.
Basically, what Vijay is trying to say is connect with him.
Yeah, you can. I'm there.
Okay, Vijay. So, whosoever asked this question, I would like to let them know, please connect with Vijay. He'll be able to answer you in a more personalized manner. Please connect with him. I do have one more question popping up. What kind of training or support will be provided by ServiceNow or by my partners while the implementation is happening or after that also?
So I would not say from ServiceNow front whether they would be providing you support or training around that. I would not be saying it from their front, but my suggestion is go for a partner who is going to provide you the service and who is going to provide you the training of the platform according to your business processes, according to your business needs, so that you have all the things that you might be needing in just single place itself only, and then you can utilize it.
All right, I think we'll be taking one last question for the evening today. And the question is, if I have multiple departments managing their own assets independently, how can ServiceNow ITM centralize this process while maintaining accountability for each department's resources? This is a very good question.
So you are saying you have 4 departments and you want all the 4 department heads to manage their own assets primarily. This
to have an accountability of it, but also for me also to have a very 360-degree view of it.
As a business owner itself.
As a business owner,
and that is
yes.
possible with roles and permissions and the capability of creating like these particular assets belong to this particular team. We can configure that. We can manage it via roles and permissions itself only, so that IT team, so that let's say marketing team will be able to manage their own assets and see at least what all assets are there, to whom they are assigned, how they are assigned, and they would not be able to see the accounts team asset. Accounts team will be able to see their assets separately, and then the owner of the business or the IT asset manager will be able to access and view all of it separately. So that is entirely possible.
Okay. Cool, got it. Then that means that is also very much doable with ServiceNow ITM, and that's so cool. We have just one more last question, and it is more of like a evergreen question that we get asked in almost all webinars. I think you have already guessed it. It's around the cost. So, of course, we are also getting asked that how much does it cost to implement?
Connect with a ServiceNow partner, maybe like us.
Yes.
That's the only way you will be able to get the cost. ServiceNow does not disclose the cost publicly, so I cannot do that being a partner myself.
Being a partner, yes. All right.
Apologies.
So again, as we answer this in all of our webinars, we really cannot answer this question. You have to get on a call with us to get this answered. So please connect with VJ, or please drop a query on Cyntexa's website or wherever you can find us, and we'll be happy to answer this question for you. And I think we are done with the set of questions as well. Do we have any additional questions?
We have more, I believe.
On YouTube and LinkedIn as well?
All right. Thank you, Adil. Okay. Vivek, how is different from Salesforce Service Cloud? Okay. So see, Salesforce Service Cloud is primarily created towards providing service for the products and the services that you are providing to the customer, and you are providing services over there. ITAM is entirely different. It's managing your assets itself only. If you are looking at something comparable to Salesforce ServiceNow or Salesforce Service Cloud in ServiceNow, you can consider it's the CSM, which is probably going to be our next webinar. You can consider it over there. But again, I would request you to not compare them like that, because they are two different things entirely. They work in the similar fashion, the ServiceNow CSM and the Salesforce Service Cloud itself only. So don't confuse it with that. But in the next webinar, we would be covering that, and then you will have better clarity. So you can join us over there, and then you will get much more clarity.
Great. All right. Thank you. Do we have any questions on LinkedIn as well?
I think there are one more, I believe. Let's see if there are any.
I think we are done with this. Okay. All right, we are done. Thank you so much, Vijay sir, for coming here and enlightening us with so many incredible insights that you had around ITM. And I think we have been able to answer a lot of questions that people might have around ServiceNow IT asset management and IT asset management as a whole in their organization. So yeah, we will additionally be linking a lot of resources that we have built around ServiceNow and ServiceNow IT asset management in the description below. So please check out that as well if in case you are looking for some more information. And additionally, as we have mentioned previously, you can connect with us, you can connect with VJ, you can reach out on Cyntexa's website to get all of your queries answered around ServiceNow. All right.
So if we haven't answered any of the queries, or if you have any doubts about anything, do reach out to us. Yeah, I just wanted to add that. Basically, she said the same thing, I am saying the same thing, but yeah.
Okay, but then we both wanted to say it.
We both wanted to say it. That's correct.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in.